So once again, I had this whole thing planned out for a listicle of my top 5 favorite rides in Southern California. But Knott's then decides to go and release this. So now, this is something we obviously have to talk about, right? So on Monday, I think it was, Knott's decided to release this on Instagram. And it got a lot of people speculating as to what the announcement is going to be. The date, 10/7, they dropped this video. So I decided to stop everything that I was doing, and we're going to go ahead and dissect this piece by piece and go over all of the additions and subtractions that Camp Snoopy is going to be making in 2024. Okay, the first scene, obviously, there's not going to be much changing. You'll see there is the new sign over the stagecoach pathway there that's going to have a couple wood stocks flying around. That's really cool. And then there is, it looks like a Snoopy with a hat there to the right, just next to the peanut store. What I did notice, however, is the canoe that sits over the waterfall of the entrance there that used to house the sign that said Camp Snoopy is gone. So looks like they're probably going to take that out. That kind of sucks. That was, I kind of liked that. But it looks like they're going for simplicity here. That's okay. I think this entrance actually makes a little bit more sense with the signage because it's front and center. You can't miss it if you try. One thing I did notice about this, and this could just be something that they leave out of concept art in general, is there's no light. I'm assuming that they're going to have some sort of light on the sign for nighttime, but who knows? So obviously the next thing that everybody was very, very curious about was what's going to go in place of the camp bus and the Timberline Twister. And we got our answer. It's a new family coaster, which was on the top of everybody's Christmas list, I'm sure. I know a lot of people were hoping for a wild moose. This does not look like a wild moose. This is, however, concept art, so we can't take this as gospel just yet. The graphic up at the top does say launch and zip twice, so they are going to let you go through twice. I'm wondering how that's going to be with the line movement, because we know with Timberline Twister, while the line never got super big, this is probably going to have a pretty big line at the start. But it looks like this is not the only addition to Camp Snoopy, so hopefully some of these other things will help in keeping the line down, because it does look like it's only going to be running one train at a time, obviously, because it's not a huge coaster. So we'll see what happens there, I guess. And then next, they've got this Off-Road Rally, these little Jeeps that looks very much like the safari ride at Legoland. I'm not sure where these are going to go, but it's got them right next to the Grand Sierra Railroad. So I'm curious if they're going to work on the right side of Camp Snoopy if you're walking through the entrance where they're going to put the family coaster in, if they're going to work on that first, and if they're actually going to take out Montezuma and use that space for this new ride. There were rumors that Huff and Puff was going to take off, which I can totally see that happening. But nobody ever said anything about Linus launchers or the swings or the little trucks with the obnoxious horns. This looks like a proper substitute for the trucks. Something that's kind of nice here is you notice there are no horns, so that's good. We get no more horns. Again, concept art. You don't have to take it as gospel, but I don't know. So this may be put in place of where those are now, and maybe it goes around the swings, or maybe they move the swings over to where Linus Launchers is, or who knows? I don't know. Maybe they move the swings to where the meet and greet is. But they got this all new Beagle Express on a new adventure. Obviously, they're not going to completely rework the pathway of the railing, because the railing actually works really well where it goes. However, this could be the answer to what they've been doing over there where that dirt mound is. Maybe that's going to be a new pathway that kind of zigzags through there. You'll also notice that there is a ton of trees. I don't know if this is just rendering for background, but it makes it hard to figure out what's going where. But I'm sure that they're just going to rework the story, is what all new adventure means. Rework the narration in the train itself, and maybe add some new track. I don't know. As of right now, that's kind of what it looks like over there on the other side of the boysenberry plants. And then they put in this, Sally's Happy Swing. The signage says Camp Swing, similar to that at Camp Bus. This looks like, because of that little log building there on the right, this looks like it's going to go where Airmail was. Because this doesn't have a large footprint, and it's not going to take a bunch of room. But it looks like, because they've got passengers, they've got riders on both sides, this is going to eat up a lot more of the line than Airmail did. What that means for Airmail, I have no idea. In this video, they only talked about the new additions to the park. They didn't talk about subtractions. So that's left for speculation. And I think that's where that's going to go, next to the Camp Snoopy store, the peanut store in Camp Snoopy. So that's kind of cool. That'll be fun for the kids. It's a nice little replacement. It's a cool combination of the Camp Bus and Airmail. So you still get the same butterflies. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting. They're going to rework the barrel bridge, where I assumed they were going to. If you look down there is still both bridges, but where they've been having the Peanuts meet and greets lately, looks like is where they're going to keep these Peanuts meet and greets. So that means that the meet and greet station to the right of the restrooms may be going by the wayside. What they're going to use that space for, they have not said. That could actually be where they put Airmail, since Airmail takes up 0 space, which wouldn't be bad, because then you've got 2 rides in that little spot there. Anyway, hopefully they fix both of these barrel bridges so that the traffic will be able to flow a little bit more even. But I really like the idea. I said this during my live stream, I think this week. I really like the idea of having the Peanuts meet and greet in front of the waterfall, because that waterfall is one of the coolest scenic areas in the entire park. I love that part of the park. It's shaded, the water roaring down, adds great ambience to the whole area. And the fact that they're putting benches here is gonna be clutch. And that backdrop for a Peanuts photo is fantastic. So that I applaud. I love that idea. And if you look here, we mentioned in the beginning that canoe is going away. Psych! That canoe is getting moved to the top of this waterfall here, which is awesome and very fitting. I kind of wish they would have just put it down in the water, in the stream itself. But this is awesome because now it's an eyesight and it looks like it's going to go in the background of those pictures for the photo ops. Good use of the canoe still. If you'll also notice to the left here, that bridge, that looks like the bridge that goes across to where Timberline Twister and Camp Bus used to be. There's awning on there now. So that bridge may be covered, may be shaded. That's one thing I've noticed that Knott's is going to probably be doing a lot throughout the park in general this year, maybe, or in the next couple of years, is adding a lot of this woodwork and hopefully putting in a lot of shade. That'll be nice. I think this looks fantastic. This is very cool. This is great. The Camp Snoopy Theater. Looks like they're going to keep it in its place, but like I was saying, they're adding a really cool wood structure. This is very similar to the wood structure that they're adding to the front and the back of the Knott's Hotel now. So the theming is uniform at this point, and this looks awesome. It doesn't look like a generic kids theater structure with the weird the truss, and it looks like almost like a mini Live Nation venue. But this adds this new woodsy theming to that whole area. They're keeping it. It's funny that they're keeping the lamppost there in the front, which is awesome. It's right in front of the sound booth. Seating looks like it's going to be the same, but hopefully this provides a lot more much needed shade to this area. These shows, I know it's going to really help the performers, because it looks like the stage is sunken back, and it is really probably going to help with the morale of the performers in that area. And I hope it does, because when you have performers with high morale, you get great shows. Whether they're going to do any new shows has yet to be determined. I'm sure that they will, because it looks like they're going to go heavy on the camp theming, which is awesome. So if you look, it says campfire sing-alongs and more. So definitely going to have new shows moving forward here with more live performers and stuff. So it won't just be the music goes around. Looks like they're going to add a diverse amount of performers, backlined with Snoopy and the Peanuts Gang. I like that. And that's basically what we have to look forward to in Camp Snoopy. This is exciting because there hasn't been really a renovation to an entire area that's missed in the last couple of years. Granted, Fiesta Village had a lot of hiccups when it reopened.
Montezuma.
However, the scenic and the vibe of that area now just feels so much more alive than it did prior to the renovation. That area, the atmosphere is fantastic. What they did to the whole facade of Jaguar is far and away better than what they had there before. I look forward to this. I hope you do too. Tell me, what do you guys think about Camp Snoopy in 2024? Let me know. Let's talk.